Yo, yo, what up, my beautiful Dowdies? How's everyone doing today? I'm your host, Faudiedauw, and let's talk about follow-up attacks. I think the game is moving in a way where follow-up attacks are going to be the new meta. We can see that with a lot of things of how the game is being portrayed, like how the system is working so far. Not only with new characters like Aventurine, that they have follow-up attacks, synergies, and more kits with it, right? The whole roster is getting bigger and bigger every day, and they're really lately focusing on it. The enemies which we have to deal with, like for instance, like the Aventurine boss, right? This boss really likes when you do follow-up attacks on the dice and AoE in general, right? Because you want to fight his gamble mechanic. And we're moving in a way where I feel like we're gonna get more follow-up attackers and synergies to deal with these formats. You need like at least one follow-up attack team, because we're going to have content that really synergizes well, or where your life will just be 10 times easier when you get follow-up synergies.
Hey, pause the video right now. Over 90% of you people that watch my videos actually are not subscribed to my channel. It would mean a lot to me if you would actually consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind after. Let's continue with the video.
So right now, it is actually not that bad of an idea to start picking up these characters. I myself are in a bit of trouble right now, because I don't have that many follow-up characters. Yes, I have Dr. Ratio. I think a lot of people have Dr. Ratio for free when he was out, right? I just don't have them built, or it's not my focus on my account, right? The only character that I really have focused on, which has a follow-up attack, is Kafka. And Kafka, yeah, is not a follow-up attack synergist, right? It's not like that's her big thing. She just has one on a single target enemy. And what makes follow-up attacks so strong is that it's most of the time blast or AoE, or it's high single target damage and it's built around it. Like Dr. Ratio has a lot of shield breaking and damage when he does the follow-up attack, and he does it constantly with the debuff capabilities. So if you have a follow-up attacker, or you have a follow-up account, you know, you have a lot of follow-up attackers and you have a lot of synergy with that, you're in a good ride, I think, because we're going to move in a way where they really want to bring follow-up attack as a whole up. And we can clearly see that with like the Aventurine boss fight right now, or Aventurine as a whole, right? Aventurine is a very good unit right now because he protects everyone on the team, plus he does the follow-up attacks. It's like an crazy good like new sustainer. He's probably going to be the best sustainer in the game because of that follow-up synergy that he has. And the meta shifted because of that, right? Because I made a previous video about that on the 5-star selection, right? On the 300 pulls you do on the standard banner, you get a free character. I talked about that as well. Himiko all of a sudden got so much more value because of like her AoE erudition follow-up attack capabilities. If you didn't really have that like I did, I got Himiko because of that, because I was lacking in that. We all get a free Herda, so we kind of have that, but Herda is more of like a pure fiction user. You can still use her in other things, you know, but like the actual follow-up things, I think Himiko just has a better overall like kit that works with like MOC and stuff like that, right? She's more usability for that. Doesn't mean Herda doesn't work, but the follow-up attack as a whole. So they're probably going to make more and going to be building around it more. So what I would do for you guys is, or my advice is, starting to pick up follow-up attack characters. Topaz is probably going to get a rerun soon. It's Jing Liu now, and we had, who was it again? Luocha, right? Next time, it could be Topaz. It's not confirmed yet, of course, but it's or next time or after that. Topaz is going to be a very, very valuable character to have, because Topaz is starting to get so much value because she buffs follow-up attacks, and on top of that, she does them, right? So Topaz is a very, very strong unit. Dr. Ratio, if you still have that free Dr. Ratio, is starting to become also a better unit overall. He still has that hunt path, so he has a single target, but because he has the follow-up attacks, it can go off very hard. Starting to build a Dr. Ratio just as your imaginary damage coverage or whatever it is, it's a very valuable unit late game, because we are going to need more follow-up attacks. And we can see that with more things. They're going to make like events, or they're going to make formats where the follow-up attacks are just way better. In Pure Fiction as well, Herda was really good because she constantly follow-up attacks, right? That's why Himiko Herda is such a cool combo in general, because they constantly do those spins and follow-up attacks with each other. That's what makes you clear so much content. It's the erudition tree in Pure Fiction that's really strong, but by Herda as plus tier is because of the follow-up attack. When the new wave comes, she goes again. You know, when you 50% whatever, she goes off the whole time with the follow-up attacks. And it's a very, very strong mechanic, and it's starting to be like one of the better things in the game. We're moving to the game where we, luckily, which is good, right? We're moving in a direction where not just destruction characters, hyper carry teams are like the way to go. I really do like, it's a strategy RPG, so I want this game to be played in a way where you need a bunch of different things and a bunch of different ideas, a bunch of different strategies to make certain things work, right? We can have like also where we have 2 different things or 3 different things that work. Well, a lot of people, for instance, when we play Kafka Black Swan, that's a good example. A lot of people think you need Runmate to make that team work. No, you could put in an Asta, that also works. You could put Japart in there with the dot light cone. When he gets hit, he puts a burn on them. You know, you can do so many different units to make a certain composition work. And that's what we want to go with, right? We have certain battles, certain enemies that work with AoE, but if you have follow-up attacks, that means you get more attacks in, and then you can also clear that specific content with that. And we're going to move like that. I like it though. One thing I am afraid of though is that we have like a certain specific content where you need follow-up attacks. That it would be a little bit scary, because then I would be a little bit in trouble, because I would actually need to pick up a character that is like really follow-up attack synergistic, right? If I have Himiko right now, I've heard and I have Dr. Ratio, I could probably still find a way to make it work. I would have to build a new character. Well, that's this game, right? It's about adjusting and getting more capabilities in your roster. At some point, you're gonna have so many characters leveled and so many choices that it's just gonna be, okay, this content I use this, and this, and that to make that team, and that content I'm gonna go this, and that. And that's going to be the fun. Honkai Star Rail is a game, the more you play it, the more time you invest in it, the more fun it gets, right? Because you have more characters built, more light cones built, more relic pieces to choose from, more options with team building, and that's going to be fun. That's why in the beginning, it's maybe when you focus on one team, you just have to clear every content with that specific team. And then it's going to get maybe also boring on top of that, because you want to play with more things. But the longer you play, the more characters you get on your roster, the more fun it's going to be. And that is a very good thing for Honkai Star Rail. That's going to be a very, very fun, specific concept. Because if you have a new enemy where you all of a sudden need to build a new character, then you're gonna have more fun in the long run, right? Because now you have this character built, and maybe this character also works with this specific team or in this game mode, and then you have more options as overall. So the more you play, the more choices you have, and that's really fun. But the game is progressing in a way where follow-up attack is starting to be like a very, very smart must pick up, right? Aventurine right now, in his specific format in the game set we have, is a phenomenal character to pick up right now because of that preservation follow-up synergy. And we're probably going to get more characters along the way with follow-up. So keep an eye open on follow-up. Follow-up is going to be a very, very cool thing. Clara has technically follow-up synergies, right? If you have a Clara laying around, that's probably going to be a very, very strong character to build. I also am like, oh, actually, Clara is probably a very strong option for you to start building if you don't have that many choice, because Clara has follow-up synergies with Svarog, of course. And on top of that, she has like her own playstyle, of course. When she gets hit, she does the follow-up attack. It's not like you have a button or something, but it's an interesting concept. She's very slow, but then every time she gets hit, she does follow-up attacks. So you can do so many cool things with these, so many characters and how their kits work, right? If you have, that's for Himiko then. Himiko has a follow-up synergy with an interaction, right? If Clara wants to get hit, Himiko has more interaction. Herda as well, right? Herda with the under 50% stuff. So you're gonna get so many cool options as well, and creativity they get to show with these follow-up attack characters. And Dr. Ratio has them with the debuffs. The more debuffs you have, and then you attack him, and then he has a more percentage to do the follow-up attack. March 7th, for instance, has when you put a shield on you, you get a higher chance to get hit. And then when you get hit, she does a follow-up attack. So like, it's a very cool concept as a whole. And I like that a lot. So it makes you build more things, and it maybe brings other forgotten characters more up, like a Clara and stuff, right? I really like that all of these different choices are being thrown into the mix, and I think that's a very healthy thing in the long run. And the more options we have, the more options the older characters have. Let's say we pick Clara again as an example. Maybe Clara is not so hot right now to the overall tier list or just overall value. She works, and she's an amazing character, but there's maybe other choices that would be better right now, right? Let's say along the way we get another follow-up attack character with buffing capabilities, or another like Topaz type of style, maybe with tanky stats or shielding capabilities, like a 5-star March 7th, right? That would be like amazing for Clara, and Clara all of a sudden gets bumped up the tier list or the value capabilities. Stuff like that is very cool as a whole, and this can go with any type of character, right? If we take Argenti, for instance, with Erudition, all of a sudden there's like an AoE physical damage dealer buffer. Argenti is going to get bumped up. So the longer we play, the longer this game is going to go, the more choices we get. And follow-up attack, the idea of it is so wide with creativity, and it's very good to see. The format as a whole is getting more love and more attention. So stuff like Bronya with Eidolons, right? Bronya starting to fall off with really harmony type capabilities, right? Sparkle is out, Ron May is out, and we're gonna get Robin soon. Bronya is going to get less value because the others do it better, and newer players would rather have the limited 5-stars than a Bronya. Bronya still does her job, still good, but you have better options, right? It's starting to be like that. If you all of a sudden have an E4 Bronya with a follow-up attack, then you're like, ooh, now all of a sudden I have this Harmony character that can do follow-up attacks, and maybe we can like play around it a little bit, you know? So that stuff is healthy for the game. Then all of a sudden that Bronya that got forgotten, maybe like a year from now, all of a sudden gets more value again, and all of a sudden Bronya is like the Harmony unit again because of the follow-up. So stuff like that is going to be very cool to look forward to. And follow-up as a whole right now is getting more value. So guys, look out for follow-up attack, synergies, characters, Topaz rerun, you know, try to consider that because that could be a very like valuable character to pick up. We don't know what the new characters are going to be, of course. There's probably going to be new characters for follow-up. No way they're not going to make more follow-up attack characters. But look out for those because they can be very valuable, and they might make a whole format for follow-up where you also need like a follow-up team, right? And that can be very cool to like think of and think ahead and prioritize certain things to like make sure you got that covered. I also right now I'm going to think more about the follow-up as a whole. I'm starting to think about actually perfecting my Clara because of that. Because I have Clara, I have her E1, and she's like a level 40. She's laying around, never really got to building her. Now I'm like, ooh, with the Aventurine boss fight, she's probably like a very great unit for that. So I'm like, ooh, hold on. Maybe we can do something there, you know, with like a Ron May, a March, you know, you can do something very cool with that. Lynx on top of that. You can do something very cool with this Clara, and then you have like domination. You can like dominate this certain content where everyone else is struggling with because you planned ahead, you know. Stuff like that is very good to look out for. So hey guys, hopefully this is like an eye-opener. You're gonna like throw this in the mix about your ideas. Maybe you hate follow-up attacks. Maybe this helps you to like maybe see the beauty of it, you know, as a whole, of the strategic nature of it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about follow-up attacks. Let me know what you guys think is follow-up attack as a whole. You know, what the game is going to do with it. If we're going to a more follow-up attack meta, and what characters would be good for that. Upcoming characters, what cool ideas would be for follow-up attack synergy things, you know. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear you guys take. Yeah, and make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Means the world to me if you could. I love you all, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace.